are a little early, but whatever. Matter too much. Only what, 5 minutes? Alright. That time of, I wouldn't say the time of the month or that time of the year. More like that time of the season. Welcome back to Anime Club. Alright. We're gonna be doing a, what's it called? The roundup for fall, or not, for winter. And we're gonna do a watch list for fall. So winter it started, I think, late December and February, or late December or January, and then it ended like this month with stuff that we should have or not watched. So we will start with that. All right, it's gonna be in order of title. And we'll start with seventh time Loop the Villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. Okay, so this one had to do with like time travel and stuff, right? It's not an isekai, funny enough, right? But it's one of those villainess ones, and I usually don't like those too much anymore. But this one was pretty good. I enjoyed it. At one point, I did start confusing this one and a different one that I'll get to. But overall, I think like a 7 rating is good for it. Like the whole time loop thing is only like really touched upon at the beginning, and the rest, like, it is part of the story, but it's not like overly like in your face, and I'm not sure I really like that. Also, I didn't really like the main guy, like her husband or whatever, the Duke, or I forgot what he was. He just kind of started like, he was just kind of annoying in a way. He was kind of a prick, yeah. So I'll give that one a 7. This didn't air. Sign of Affection. Okay, so this one I started watching and I dropped like 5 episodes in because it just kind of wasn't for me. It's like a romance, kind of a shoujo-ish thing, right? I just didn't really like the way that, like, the whole thing is that she's deaf and she kind of falls in love with this guy, and they kind of like have a thing and stuff, and the friends want to get them together. But this guy's friends with her and he likes her, but he's kind of he wants her, but he doesn't like him and stuff like that. So got a like love triangle thing going. But he's just kind of a prick to her. Yeah, I just don't like him, and I just kind of got me to like not just drop it. So no rating for this one because I dropped it. It wasn't for me. Also, I didn't really like the art style too much. Banished from the Hero's Party decided to live a quiet life on the countryside, season 2. Okay, so I did like the first season of this one because it's just kind of chill. It's not isekai. I know it looks like an isekai, like just fantasy and stuff. I did start getting a little angry because the main antagonist is like the hero here, started getting on my nerves a little much. But I think I like the way the direction it went overall. I think it did pretty good. I think an 8 is appropriate for it. I don't remember what I gave the other one before. I didn't watch this. I did not watch the new Blue Exorcist season. I just stopped caring about it. Bottom tier character, Tomozaki-kun. This is the 2nd season of it. Yeah, I liked it. I will say I'm a little disappointed. Spoilers, right? So like, this is all gonna be spoilery stuff. He didn't pick best girl. He picked 2nd best girl though, at least. But man, she was right there, my guy. She was right there, and you ruined it. The Genki girls never get a chance, dude. What can I really say? I enjoy Tomozaki-kun. It's an interesting like slice of life, like school, slightly romance-ish, like towards the end. Like, I like the way that the characters kind of interact with each other and stuff, you know. But yeah, I think I gave the other one an 8 or a 9, like an 8.5. I think it's fair. So yeah, Tomozaki-kun, pretty good. Brave Bang Bravern. I should probably open these. Probably good idea. Okay, so I have my gripes about this one. The cover we saw wasn't this one. It was these two, right? So they had like the armor and stuff and the suits. So this felt like it was a parody of like like mecha in general, but like it wasn't really. Like it was, but it wasn't. But it had slight like Yuri undertones, right? Like there was a lot of BL. Like the way they talk is so. He's like, oh, Isami, I can feel you inside of me, but he's like, he's inside the mech, and the dude's like, the robot, the Bravern is saying that, and it's just like, dude, shut up, man. It was a slight plot twist, like almost near the end, that I was like, oh, okay, that sort of makes sense. It's still weird though. I don't know. It started off like interesting, then I dropped off a little bit for me, then it started getting interesting again, and then I was like, huh. So I don't know. I don't really like these types of mecha animes. I don't really like too much. I enjoyed it. It was a fun watch. I'll give it a 7. Not too special. All right. Speaking of Yuri undertones, so I tried watching Buchigiri. I watched one episode halfway through, and then I had to speed it up because it was starting to annoy me. I started the second episode and I dropped it immediately. I just can't, dude. It was so weird. It was so weird to me. I didn't really. Yeah, the characters are. Yeah, you can see what's going on here. Yeah, this is not this is not meant for people like me. So I dropped it. It was freaking weird, and I hope there's nothing like that. Burn the Witch I didn't watch because I didn't watch the first one. So, case closed. All right, Chained Soldier. Okay, so this one was kind of marketed as a sort of, well, ecchi anime, right? But surprisingly, it was actually pretty interesting. I did like it. There is, I think, a second season that's been announced. I think, yeah, it's getting a second season. I don't know when, obviously, but it's good that it's getting a second season. It did leave off on a cliffhanger. But, yeah, like, I did kind of like the dynamic of the team. It was not really straight up harem, but like they do like the guy. Oddly enough, this is the guy. Yeah, he looks like a normal dude, but then he transforms into this. The ecchi was all right. I'll give it that. The ecchi was pretty good. All right. The dynamic between the characters was pretty good. The story was all right. It was all right, sort of going into a different like dimension sort of thing, but still staying like in our world. Like they're in the other dimension, but the other world still exists. And they can go back and forth. But like, yeah, I kind of the lore and stuff about I forgot what the world is called, but yeah, it's interesting, and I kind of want to see more now. So yeah. All right. This one I did not watch because it was Yuri. That's not for me. No, I did not watch Classroom of the Elite. I didn't like it. What else? And this one's still ongoing. Yeah, because it's getting the second cour. So this is probably my anime of the season because it took the fantasy like aspects of like the whole dungeon crawling thing and did them perfect. Like there's a very common thing now with fantasy anime that are very generic, where it's like, okay, there's magic, there's dungeons, there's adventures, there's guilds, all this, okay. And it's so, like, consistently boring, right? Like, a dungeon, oh, it's just a bunch of, it's like, oh, they're going to a labyrinth, and that's the dungeon. All the floors look the same. It's just hallways. It's like, it's almost like if a dungeon in Minecraft, right? Where it's just hallways. And it's like, okay, is that it? Okay, that's, all right. But this one is different, like, there's different environments and biomes throughout. Like at the top, like at floor 2, there's like a jungle, like a forest kind of thing. There's like trees and like bridges and stuff. But then they'll go lower and it'll be like a castle or something. Then another one is like ruins that are underwater and stuff like that. I like that. And then the different like, obviously it's called Delicious in Dungeon because they are eating stuff in the dungeon to stay alive. Yeah. I thought that was going to be the main thing, kind of like a sort of like they're exploring and like, oh, I wonder what this tastes like, and they're eating different stuff. But no, there was actually a story to it. There was a at the beginning, spoilers, right? Laios, his sister gets eaten by the red dragon. Yeah. So they have to go back and will save her essentially, but the party breaks up, so it's only them three, and then they meet Senshi before they go into the thing, and it's still ongoing technically. So yeah, there's not much else to go off of that, so I can't really rate it. But so far, like, this was my anime of the season. Solid 10 for me. The whole fantasy trope is done so well. I love it. I love the different like environments, biomes with different like monsters and stuff. That's all cool. The food looks freaking delicious. So yeah, it's still ongoing. So if you want to catch up to that, I'd highly recommend that one. Illusional Monthly Magazine. Okay, going back. Okay. I don't know what's with this season and the Yuri stuff. Okay. So I tried watching this, okay? None of these characters are women except her, I think. Maybe the dog too, but they're all dudes. Yes, those two are dudes. They're traps. I just couldn't keep up with it. It's the whole Mopart's storyline was dumb. The transformation stuff was dumb. There wasn't really, I wouldn't say Yuri undertones, but it's like it's all dudes and they're very like effeminate. So it's, for me, it's like I think. But yeah, I can't really comment on this story because there's no real story. It's so dumb. They're collecting these like things called Moparts, and that's it. And it's like these guys are from a different thing, working, trying to get them too. And yeah, I didn't like it. It was just stupid. Okay, so Dr. Elise is the other sort of like not villainous style thing, but it's like the same fantasy one as the Seventh Time Loop. From henceforth, it'll be known as Seventh Time Loop. At the point where I started confusing the two, I know she has blonde hair and the other one has pink hair, but bruh, sometimes I can't with these fantasy anime women. They are very confusing. So this one is like a double reverse. It's a reverse or a double isekai. So she like dies in her thing, right? She was kind of a prick. And then she becomes a human, not human, I see. She becomes a person in a different world, which is actually ours, right? She becomes a Japanese surgeon, starts saving lives and stuff, try to atone for what she did. And then she dies in a plane crash in episode 1. I know, spoiler. And then she comes back and it's like before she was like overly bad and before she died. And then she's like, well, I should probably be a doctor, but then she's like royalty, so it's like, no, you kind of can't. You got to be royalty. And then the dude wants to marry her. Yeah, so this guy is almost the same as the guy from Seventh Time Loop, except he's not a prick. The big difference, they look exactly the same. You can see why I was confusing them. I'd give it an 8. I give it an 8. The story was pretty good. The interaction between the characters was decent. There were some oddities, like with every other fantasy thing, like fantasy anime these days, right? I feel like we've lost the whole, like, what fantasy is in a way, right? Like, when I think fantasy, I think stuff like in a sense, right? Like, think Skyrim, like medieval sort of stuff. That's fantasy. And then you can add stuff on top of that, like monsters and dungeons and magic and all that, right? But it has to like flow well. Okay, so this looks like it takes place in that sort of thing, but everything feels a little bit more advanced, almost like it's like around the 1700s, 1800s, early maybe. At one point, this dude's assistant, this dude's assistant gets shot by a cult python. I don't think python was around in the 1800s. I believe the python started being popular around the 80s, I think, 1980s, 1970s, maybe. Point is, there are some things that felt out of place. Even the medical practices felt out of place, obviously, right? So, yeah, those throw me off a little bit. I know it's not a big deal, but I liked when things are consistent, and we'll get to that later on. Okay, Dog Signal, didn't watch that. Duel Masters, that didn't even air. Firefighter Daigo didn't. Oh, Fluffy Paradise. Okay, so this was supposed to be like the comfy anime of the season, right? I usually don't mind these, and I usually watch them all the way through. I watched about 3 episodes, and then I dropped it. I'm starting to be a little bit more, like, on the sense of dropping stuff, because I just can't. I have too many things to watch and to do, so for me, it's like, yeah. But this one just like it's like okay, there's an episode, okay, and she can talk to animals, and doesn't matter if they're powerful or not, like a dragon. She can talk to them and tame them, and it's like okay, it's starting to lose me. Like you did everything that the anime advertised in one episode. Oh, did I forget to mention this is an isekai? Yeah, it's an isekai. Great. So yeah, this one also takes place in a fantasy world. Who would have thought, right? But I do feel like it just kind of like it's like, oh, I wonder what Fluffy thinks she's gonna do next episode. It's kind of lost its charm. Yeah, so not for me. But if you need comfy, there it is. And we finally got the conclusion. Frieren Beyond Journey's End, or Frieren at the Funeral, if you'd prefer. I don't think I'm not sure if there's gonna be a new, like a second season of it yet. Way it went, it better get us, bruh. The whole time, I didn't see this. Oh, it's cute. The whole time I was glued to my freaking screen. Everything about Frieren is peak anime, peak fantasy, peak everything, dude. Okay. There's a reason this overtook Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood as top anime now. I know it's my anime list, but shut up, whatever. It doesn't matter. The way that they went about doing fantasy in Frieren was very like, it wasn't over the top. It wasn't flat. And everything felt in universe, like in world, right? There was nothing out of place. The whole journey aspect, I love stories like that with journeys and stuff. So fun. It was done so well. Because it's like, first it's Frieren and her companions, and then it's Frieren alone, and then she meets Fern when she's young, and then she teaches Fern, and then with Fern they meet Stark, and they go so on and so forth, and they meet all the other characters, right? And then the whole thing with the major exam, I thought, oh man, is this gonna be a stupid like tournament thing, like they do with every other anime? No, I was wrong. The way they did about the major exam was so good. Like I said, it felt in universe. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a battle royale, isn't it? Frieren's gonna ruin it. Nope, 100% wrong. Probably shouldn't assume things like that, but Frieren is probably gonna stay at that spot for a while because it was peak. And also, I need to mention the freaking soundtrack. Beautiful, beautiful. When it's the transitions and they're just showing the scenery, or when they're just walking like on the journey and stuff, it's, oh man, it's got like the soft, like it's got that like Celtic vibe, sort of like that fantasy like background OST, and it's so good. And when they're like actually like in battle or something, or something's happening, it's good. And honestly, it wasn't as action packed as every other fantasy thing, right? There's not like any overly over the top battles here and there, right? But when there was, the action is amazing. The whole part with Aura in like the first 10 episodes, I think when she fought Aura, if you want to even call it that, in, I think it was like episode 7 or 8. Bro, that scene with Aura and all the knights with the mana and the scales. That is so memeable, but it was so good. And also the interaction with the characters, right? They all flow really well. Like Frieren and Fern have the apprentice and master relationship. Stark and Fern with that sort of like little like. At first they didn't really like each other, but then they started kind of getting a little bit more close after the ballroom episode, which, oh man, that was so beautifully animated. I totally ship those two. And it didn't feel, nothing felt forced. A lot of fantasy things make everything feel forced, like forced relationships or forced like plot things or things like that, right? Oh, here's Aura. This is a good episode. But nothing of this felt forced, and I like that about it. So, yeah, Frieren is definitely probably one of my favorites now. All right, enough about that. Fanboyed about that a little too much. All right, gushing over magical girls. All right, yes, this is a magical girl anime. Yes, it is ecchi. Yes, I watched all of it, and yes, I did enjoy it. Because this one took the twist of the whole magical girl like thing, and kind of twisted it a little bit, right? Where instead of it being just about magical girls and their rivals, it's about the rivals and the magical girls, right? The bad guys. And she's like, she likes magical girls, right? Main girl, she likes magical girls a lot. She's a fangirl. But then she gets turned into like one of the bad guys. But then she starts enjoying it. She starts being good at it, and it was pretty good. The comedy in this was top notch. The ecchi was pretty good too. Story was okay, but that's not really the important. So yeah, this one was probably like a solid like 8, well deserved. It outmatched just about everything else too. So yeah. All right. Next is high card season. Okay, so the first high card. Oh my god. First. At first, the first season, I wasn't too like. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't like I didn't overly like it. I'm like, I thought it was good, but that's about it. Like something about it, I just didn't like too much. But then it started growing on me. But then I didn't know that a second season was gonna come out. Also, these character visuals are. I didn't know there was gonna be a second season, right? Second season expanded on everything. Character relations, the story, the lore, the backstory of the cards, everything. It was so good. Solid 8. Solid 8. Only because of Sugar. Because Sugar is the worst character. She's cute, don't get me wrong. She's adorable. But the way she went about it, she kind of ended up ruining everything. She kind of basically helped the bad guys without directly helping the bad guys. But yeah, I didn't like her. She kind of ruined it. Yeah, solid 8, 8.5. All right, Hokkaido gals are super adorable. And yes, indeed they are. Considering this was a romance, I think, right? Just pure, like, just romance slice of life. Yeah, comedic, romantic subtext comedy. I want to say it's subtext, but not really. Considering I think they do hook up at the end. I don't remember. I feel like they did. They kind of leave it vague sometimes, but yeah. So main guy, which is not pictured here. I don't get why. He moves to Hokkaido, which is the Alaska of Japan, if you didn't. And well, he meets this girl, and then he meets this girl, and then he meets her first, then her, and then her, and then like 2 other ones that I thought were gonna be introduced, but they weren't at the end. They weren't important, turns out. The interactions are fun. The dude's kind of a dork, and I like that. He's kind of like, I wouldn't call him a like super dense kind of guy because the girls aren't explicitly like on him, right? Like she likes him because he's from a different like place, and he's kind of a dork, and she's a gal, and gals like that type of guy. She likes him because they have a sort of like master student relationship. She teaches them about gaming and stuff, and that was her. She like kind of starts to like him because he lives in a Japanese style house, and she's like a super weeb despite being Japanese. And like at one point he was doing like a tea ceremony with his grandma. He was wearing like a kimono and stuff, and then she immediately just started gushing over, and it was freaking hilarious. But it wasn't overly like harem-y, so that's good. You know, it mainly focused on her and her, not her too much, but it mainly focused on Minami, so that was pretty good. Overall, like probably a 7. Well, seven's probably fair. Have not watched Isekai Onsen Paradise. Ishura. Okay, so Ishura was mixed for me. I ended up giving it like a 5. So what I thought it was gonna be, right? What it came out to be, not maybe an isekai, even though it sort of is with some of the characters. I thought it was going to be a sort of tournament one where they get these champions, and they'll have like a sort of tournament to decide like who's gonna be like what was it they were trying to figure out? Who was the true hero? Yeah, it's always about heroes. The first like 5 episodes are just introducing the characters, which did drag on a little too much for me. I get it, they each have their thing, but like bruh, by the end of the 5th thing where they showed like, I think it was like 10 characters, I forgot who was who. I forgot who was on whose side. Let me take a drink. It was, I wouldn't say it was messy. I feel like it was more my fault, but it's just like, there's 2 kingdoms, like Auretia and Lithia, and for me they sounded exactly the same. I started getting confused. I don't know who was on whose side because they all have their own like clothing that looks the same or different. I mean, and it's like, yeah. Overall, that kind of threw me off. But then when we started getting into more of like with the other characters, right? Some of them were interesting. Some of them were just like this guy. He's like in 2 episodes. He's supposed to be important. We don't really see. Same with this guy. We only see him like 1 time. Some of the other characters were a little better. I actually did like the Kai the Magpie. He got isekai'd, right? The Terran the Punished. It was pretty good. I did also like Ellie the Red Tag. She was kind of like an assassin. I did not like Soldier of the Willow Sword. I think he was my least favorite character. Basically comes off as Eren Yeager. He got isekai'd also, and his whole thing, funnily enough, is the whole I'm only here to fight stronger opponents. And it's like, oh, that is such a boring trope. I hate that trope so much. And he gets paired with Best Girl, and that sucks. Alice was pretty cool too. I like the whole thing with Alice, the Star Runner. I like that they have the titles too. Oddly enough, they do have Regneji, which is his rival. So yeah, like I didn't really know what to expect, and then my expectations were a little twisted. Then the story got confused. So yeah, I ended up not really liking it. I feel like I wasn't gonna like it in the end. So all right, Mashal. I don't know why they call it Mashal and his name just Mash. So this is the 2nd season. The first Mash was pretty funny, just Harry Potter with muscles and without magic for the main character. 2nd season really doesn't do anything different except go into more of like a whole tournament-y arc, oddly enough. But that's really it. I'm not gonna lie, since I think it airs on Mondays or Sundays. I kind of have it on my second monitor while I'm doing other things, like stream stuff or my stuff. I kind of just zoned out the last like half of the thing. I know they were doing like a tournament thing, which was interesting, and then the main bad guy showed up, and it's like, oh, okay. What's he gonna do? Punch him? And then he punches him. Okay, it was all right. I actually did end up liking the I forgot what this dude's name is, but he's one of the, like from the Whale House. He was pretty interesting feller, to say the least. I can't really rate it, so yeah. Meiji Gekken 1874. So this one was supposed to be this like historical one, right? And that was kind of its whole thing. The whole genre is just pure historical samurais. Personally, like, I love Japan, right? You guys are awesome. The samurai stuff is pretty cool, but there's a limit to how much I can stomach. And the fact that most of these stories are practically the same, for me, it just kind of felt eh. So I watched about 2 episodes, and then I dropped it because it just wasn't for me. It wasn't bad, per se, right? Guy's a former samurai. He's like like one of those guys that pulls like the little chariot things, like a something rider. I forgot what they're called. Maybe it says here the rickshaw driver. And then he ends up getting mixed up a fight with some former samurai that are trying to overthrow the current government, like typical 1870s stuff in Japan. And then he gets recruited by the military police or the police or whatever the heck it is, Kempei, I don't know. And then I dropped it because I didn't care too much. If you like samurai and historical stuff of that time, that's probably for you. Definitely not for me. Metallic Rouge. Okay, I just finished this one today. So, a lot of people were confused about Metallic Rouge. I don't blame you. The story was a little confusing. But later on it starts getting a little bit more like you start learning what it is, you start learning about the Neons and all this other stuff. And the story starts picking up around like halfway through and then towards the end. Was pretty good. Pretty good. I like the dynamic between Rouge and Noelle. Rouge is adorable. She always loves eating chocolate. I could relate to that. Fast girl. Literally me. But yeah, I'd probably give this one probably give it a 9. It was good. There were some twists near the end that I also enjoyed. And yeah, it felt pretty cyberpunky, which I also liked. But yeah, this one was probably my second favorite of the season. Right, Mr. Villain's Day Off. This is probably the other comfy anime of the season. So, premise is this villain guy, right? There's like an evil organization that's trying to take. I think they're just trying to destroy Earth outright, right? They're fighting like basically Power Rangers and stuff. And when on his days off, he just kind of does things. Also, he's obsessed with pandas and stuff. That's the whole thing. So while it wasn't bad, I did end up dropping it. The main reason I ended up dropping it because I forgot it was airing. Because on the day it aired, it kind of like aired late after I was already done with my watch list, and I usually don't like to like go back and what are you doing? Why did my tracking get freaking capture? Oh, wait. Oh, why is it doing this? Okay, there we go. That was weird. Lost tracking. It's been doing that recently. I don't like it. Okay, so the main thing is like it's on his days off. He does like things. He goes to the store and buys like Anna stuff or this and that, and he's a pretty calm guy and stuff. But like I said, I forgot that it aired on that day, and I just kind of ended up forgetting about it. It didn't leave too big of an impact. The episode's kind of like okay, what cutesy stuff is he gonna do now? What sort of comfy thing is he gonna do? So for me, I just kind of dropped it. After that, after I forgot, I'm like, I'm not gonna bother watching it. I watched like 6 episodes. If this is your kind of thing, if you like kind of sort of like the comfort anime, then that's for you. But I just ended up dropping it. I have gripes with this freaking anime. Okay, so this one is an isekai. It's a sort of overpowered thing. So main guy has a thing where he's called like Alpha Omega or whatever, and he needs to kill people essentially, just saying shine, and then they die, as long as they have killing intent. Okay, so, and that's the whole premise of it, right? It's not supposed to be a comedy, but it feels like it's a comedy. So him and his classmates get isekai'd, and the sage, she's kind of a prick, but she's kind of cute. She ends up basically giving them all powers to become sage candidates, but they have to do like this thing first or whatever. But there's a few that she doesn't give powers to because, I don't know, for a reason. Like main guy can't because he has the thing. Her because she has a guardian deity that stopped her from doing that. And like 2 other characters that both die at the first episode, but one comes back to life like on like the 8th episode and starts killing everyone else. Yeah, I didn't like the way they went about everything. It's supposed to be fantasy. The world, at one point, they reach basically what's like modern cyberpunk Tokyo, and then they reach like a kingdom that's supposed to be from every other fantasy anime. There's so many characters, I didn't know who was who. I didn't really care. They started killing each other like in episode 9 because she told them to, which is like, man, you guys are classmates and you just don't hesitate to kill each other. Dang, that's wow. The whole thing, the whole instant ability stuff where he just kills people is pretty funny though. Like at one point they're stuck in this tower and he kills the magic that's like spawning monsters and causing like a miasma thing. He just kills it and it's freaking hilarious. Apart from that, the relationship between the characters is kind of annoying and I didn't like it. So yeah, I it's like I didn't like it, but I did like it. So I don't even know what to rate this. I think I rated it a 7. The OP's pretty good too. Called like Killer Bar is pretty good. Ninja Kamui I didn't watch, but I heard it's pretty good. Pon no Michi. Okay, so funny story about Pon no Michi, right? I same thing like with Mr. Villain's Day Off. So I started watching that episode, and then I forgot it existed. Can you blame me? It's supposed to be about mahjong. Mahjong bores me for some reason. Although I did watch what's it called? A Lion comes in November. Sangatsu no Lion in April. Something about April and lions. I forgot what it is. A Lion comes in April or something like that. That was pretty good. Point is, I forgot this one aired also because it aired on such a weird day that it just kind of like it was there, and I forgot about it until like later on. I'm like, oh wait, that was airing. I'm not going back to it. So yeah, the girls basically just play mahjong and stuff. They're kind of cute. I think one of them is actually voiced by Chizato's voice actor. Could be her, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, dropped it because I forgot about it. All right. So I did talk about Ragnar Crimson last time. It hooked me. Right away, hooked me. First cour, pretty good. And then the second cour happened. And for me, the rating kind of dropped off. I'm not gonna lie. So my main gripe with this one, right, was that one battle that started during the second cour where they were at the fortress with the silverware princess and the versus basically all the other dragons. That one dragged on for way too long. Like, I get why it lasted so long, right? Because everybody was so powerful, right? But bruh, like, it lasted like 10 episodes. Like, one episode was, it almost felt like Dragon Ball, right? Where they power up the whole thing. But it's like, no, they're just throwing punches at each other, and then it cuts to this one part. And they're throwing punches at each other, and then it cuts to this other part. And it's these other guys fighting, and then it cuts to the other part. And it's like, okay, this whole battle could have been condensed to maybe 4 episodes at most, maybe 3 at least. But it's like, dude. So at that point, I did kind of start dropping like interest in it. So for me, the rating went probably from like an 8 to maybe like a 7.5, maybe a 7. That really threw me off. It did conclude, and it did conclude pretty well, I'd say. So, well, I mean, I say that, but like there is still like, yeah, there's gonna be a second season, the final chapter. Hopefully, there's no final chapter part 2 or final chapter part 2, season 2 or whatever. Yeah, it was a bit of a cliffhangery ending, but I did kind of just like that it stopped. Finally, like, bruh. Okay, what else? Sasaki and Peeps. I thought this was gonna be straight isekai. It's not actually. It's a half and half where we can go back and forth. So I did like Sasaki and Peeps at first. Right, this is a common trope now. But I was interested more on him starting to develop a business and on the other world and then coming back and stuff, right? Like, that was interesting and I did enjoy it. I didn't really like the whole thing with the Bureau of Psychics versus like the rogue psychics and the magical girl and stuff in our world, in the real world. That was kind of like, it felt like it didn't belong. Like, that could have been a different anime altogether, and for me it was just like, oh, okay. I completely forgot about that storyline at one point. But the story with him, the sage, and the other world is pretty good, I guess. It did start dropping off a little bit near the end for me, like I said. But overall, still pretty enjoyable. Probably give it a 7.5. Sengoku Yoko, the former siblings. Wait, was this a second? Oh. So, I did start watching this one. I watched about 3 episodes. Yeah, you're going to see the continuing trope here. I watched about 3 or 2 episodes. I forgot. Then I dropped it. The setting is like Japan and like that era. You know, you can tell right away by looking at it. Like, this guy's supposed to be the main character in a way, I guess. But like, he just felt boring and just there. I didn't like him. And then there's these two. This guy hates humans, but she gives him like power of like the yokai and stuff. She tells him basically that they gotta help people, and he's like, okay, but he still hates people, and I don't like stuff like that. I didn't like the interactions between them, the characters, and the story just felt boring. I don't like yokai stuff too much when it's like done like in some ways. I do like it if it's done well. I've watched other ones like that. The way it came out in this one was just kind of like, felt boring. Didn't really like it too much. Shangri-La Frontier, it did end, right? But it's getting a second season. Alright. So I did have my gripes with this one at the beginning. I did start enjoying it a little more. Take another drink, because dang, I'm freaking thirsty today. I have the same problem I have with this one like I did with Ragnar Crimson. There was one section that lasted way too long. It was like its own arc. When they went to go fight Weatherman, the Tomb Guard, right? It's supposed to be like a special event. The battle, I don't know if it's me. I think the battle lasted like 7 episodes also, when it should have only lasted like maybe 2. Because it's like the first one was preparation. It's like, okay, I get that. I do that when we played like Destiny and other games that require preparation. I understand that. Then it's like, okay, so they got to activate it. Oh, but then they got to go grind. It's like, okay. I'm not counting that. But then the actual battle started. The first thing was basically them trying to just figure out his attack pattern. And it's like, okay. Okay. A whole episode just for that question mark? I could do that in like a little bit, just like when I play Elden Ring. But it's like understandable, okay? But then like the second episode about that and the third one, it's like dragging on. And then it finally concluded. And that was like, by the end of it, I just wanted it to end. I'm like, I don't even care about it anymore. Just kill the guy. I do feel like the what's it called? The whole secondary thing. I guess it's not really a romance thing to it, right? It's just the video game thing. But I feel like they're shoehorning in the romance between her and Sunraku, right? Because she likes him in the real world and she wants to get with him closer in the game and stuff. But it's like, bruh, that feels so shoehorned in. It's like, he's your typical like, oh, I'm too shy to talk to him, and when I do it, it's awkward kind of thing. And it's like, bruh, just freaking do it. He's a gamer, man. It felt very out of place. It's just like, ring. Also, Katsube's boy, girl. It's a dude playing as a female character, but I like the design. Anyways, it's supposed to. I think it ended, but it's getting its second season soon, so we'll see about that. I feel like an 8 rating is fair. It's fair. It did feel more like a video game, like it felt more like a game in the last few episodes. Nakabasu. Okay, so I tried watching the first episode. I was like, this art style's a little odd. I'm not gonna watch it, so I didn't watch it. Solo leveling. I think this already got second season is already greenlit. All right, so I don't really have gripes with solo leveling at all. Was it overhyped? Actually, no. It pissed me off that they overhyped it and it never came out until recently, but I did start enjoying it later on. Like whenever I'm like, oh, how's he gonna like, level up? What's he gonna like do this time? It started interesting me. I felt like they could have done some of these things like the last main battle when he fights that one Red Knight. That one could have been dragged on 3 or 4 episodes. They did it in like 2 almost, or like 1.5, which was nice. I did like that. The guy didn't feel too overpowered. He did feel like he was limited in something, and now he's like getting more overpowered, obviously. The only thing I don't really like too much is like the whole concept of like hunters in the world and stuff. It's like maybe there's a reason for it, right? But like the dudes go into some of the dudes just go into like through the portals into the dungeon just wearing like a hoodie and jeans. But then you see this some other guys are like wearing like S tier like fantasy like over the top armor, and it's so weird, man. All right, so leveling, it deserves a solid 9 for me. I'm not giving it a 10 straight up because I did have like little gripes with it here and there that I'm not gonna talk about. But all right, Synduality Noir Cour. So this concluded the storyline of Synduality Noir, which I did not think was gonna get a second season. And then all of a sudden it just popped up. And it concluded the stories of several introduced a few characters and concluded the stories of the other ones. Well, I think it did it really. I am sad for Best Girl because Best Girl liked our mans and they didn't get together, but Noir is also Best Girl, and yeah. So this was a really well done mech. I did like the approach. The whole approach with the forget it, the main bad guy's name. It's like a German name. But I did like their conflict. It was pretty interesting. The story I wasn't too sure. It confused me a little bit. It wasn't bad. It just confused me. Where he wanted to get rid of the Magus because I guess they were like a sort of burden for humanity's growth or whatever, even though it wasn't. Like his whole like plot drive was not interesting to me, and it was kind of, I don't know, I was like, bruh, like why? You're an idiot. But yeah, it was pretty good. I liked how it concluded. Tales of Wedding Rings. So it's a harem isekai ecchi fantasy. You know where this is going. It's getting a second season apparently. I'm just really a second season? Okay, this one dragged on a little bit more. I did watch a little bit more of it than I thought I normally would. I think I watched 4 episodes of this one, or 5 this time. And then I dropped. So it's supposed to be a harem thing because like he's supposed to like marry them and he gets the rings and that's how he becomes powerful, right? So basically he just likes main girl. He fell in love with her and like when she came to their world and then went back to there. And it shows they do truly like each other, right? But then they started adding the other girls and it's like, okay, here's your typical fair harem stuff with the tropes and stuff. And then it just kind of got boring and I just dropped. Yeah. The ecchi was not even good. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't good. So don't watch it, please. Save your brains. Did not watch Apothecary Diaries. Sadly, I know. Danger's in my heart. So, the first one set up the relationship, and the second one, well, spoiler alert, it continued, and it went pretty well. As just pure, like, comedy school, like, with the whole romance thing, it did fantastic. And I love it. I love the relationship these two have. It's just so good. So good. None of like there wasn't any tropey stuff, which was the best part, right? And yeah, the comedy, everything was good. So yeah, if you like that genre and stuff, you definitely need to watch it. Solid 9 for me. Okay, it keeps opening up freaking free run, dude. What the heck? Oh god. Demon Prince of Momochi House. Oh my god. Okay, so I think I only watched 1 episode of this. I don't know if I watched the second one. I might have watched 2. I did watch 1 full, and then the second one I sped through it because. So, first off, I hate every single character in this except the main girl. The main girl is nice. She didn't really have anything, right? But these guys, right? These bishis, oh man, I hate Bishonen. I hate Bishonen protect her character so bad, especially this prick. So she has a house that her mom left her, right? And then she goes to that house to like, well, it's hers now. But then she finds these guys living there, and they're like, no, this is our house now because we claimed it. Basically, squatters' rights, right? And they're like, what are they? They're like not yokai, but they're like a sort of like thing. I guess they're sort of like some spiritual demon fantasy thing. Point is, they're living in her house, and she's like, well, this is my house, so can you like leave? And they're like, no, but like you can like live here, I guess, too. I just don't like the way they treated her, and I don't like that she took it. So, you know what? I kind of didn't like her either, I guess. She was cute. I hate Bishonen. I hate Bishonen so much. I'm sorry, I just do. They're always, for some reason, they always look the same, and they always treat other people like they're trash when they're the trash. So yeah, I dropped it. Full prejudice on that one. The foolish angel dances with the devil. Okay, so I don't really know about this one. I feel like I didn't even watch it. I did, but it's like, okay, stuff's happening, I guess. The whole trope, the whole thing between them being an angel and demon. Okay. Been overdone, I get it. This one did it a little better, but it's like, okay. Yes, I guess they changed some things. They did end up liking each other near the end. The relationship was kind of cute. But overall, I didn't really do anything new, really. Her enslaving him in a way was different, but I'm not really going to give it a rating just for that. For me, it's just like, it's a meh. Speaking of animes that I watched but didn't watch, Strongest Tanks Labyrinth raids a tank with a rare 99999 resistance skill. Got kicked from the Heroes Party. I love long titles like that so much. I love it so much. We're just gonna call it Tank Raids level 9999. Okay, so this is another one that I felt like I watched but didn't watch because nothing really happened of note. It's just like your typical main character gets kicked out of the hero's party. Okay, but he has a skill that's OP, a certain just one skill. And then he does his own thing, and then he ends up meeting more people, and he forms his own party, and then he proves the hero wrong, and the hero apologizes and stuff because he's a prick. And then there's dungeons and labyrinths, but they all look boring. There's that trope again with the dungeons and stuff being boring. And then, like, I feel like that was the whole thing. It's just like, oh, okay. Interactions with the characters were okay. Some of the story, I'm like, oh, they'll probably touch up on that. Oh, they brought it up one time, and then one time at the end. Oh, okay. It didn't feel like it did anything different. This is like peak generic. The whole thing with them and the resistance skill was okay, I guess, but I've seen it done before. Unwanted Undead Adventure. I don't think this one's done airing, I think. Yeah. Did it end? I feel I don't even remember if it ended or not. Yeah, because he became because he drank the vampire blood at the end. Okay. I guess yeah, it did. So this one has the whole trope with the labyrinth also. They're pretty boring. But the difference between this one is that main guy freaking dies to like a dragon. He gets vaporized into a skeleton like episode 1. But he's still alive. He comes back as a skeleton. He's like, what? I still got like my skills and stuff. What? But then he starts like he kills another skeleton. Then he levels up essentially. Becomes like a lich. Like first he's a skeleton, and then a zombie, and then an undead, and then a lich, and then like a vampire at the end. So his whole thing is that he's dead, and Lorraine, which is his like her in a way, kind of helps him through stuff, and yeah, it was pretty interesting. I did like that different of it, and it kind of did the fantasy thing, tropes, but they were okay. They weren't too overly done. Probably give this one a 7.5. It was fair. All right, weakest tamer. So, okay, so I don't like that this is labeled an isekai because technically it's not. The isekai part is you could have very well not even included it. You wouldn't have noticed. The isekai part is that she has like a subconscious like a voice she hears that tells her things essentially, right, about her world and stuff. That's it. That's the isekai part. Other than that, it goes on. Instead of this is like there's two big tropes, right? There's like the overpowered main protagonist, and then there's the protagonist with no skill. This one takes the protagonist with no skill. So in this world, people have like stars, right, for their blessing, and that represents how good they are at certain things. If you're like a level 3 blacksmith, you can make like really good stuff. If you're a level 1 cook, you can cook stuff pretty well, but not like as good as like a level 3 or whatever. She doesn't have anything, so her parents kind of shun her, and the village shuns her, and they try to kill her. So she runs away, and she basically like starts collecting stuff. The whole trash thing is like it's there, but it's not. I feel like this shouldn't be the title for it. It should just be like her journey. It should be like the weakest tamer's journey, and not to pick up trash. But I did like the story, how she went from one thing to another. It's a journey one, so I like that, obviously. But it's like how she went from one town to the other and stuff. And then she meets people and she helps them, they help her and stuff like that. And then she meets the slime. Oh, the slime is the freaking most adorable thing ever. She makes these adorable noises like boo boo boo, and I'm like, oh, my heart, my soul. Probably a solid 8. I did feel like it could do with another season. I don't think there was gonna be another season. Yeah, I don't know if I feel like it was popular enough, but it was comfy. I did enjoy that. Witch and the Bee. So I can't really say much about it, other than the dynamic between these two is pretty good. This guy's chill as heck, like a sort of like mage sorcerer kind of guy, and this guy, because yes, this is a dude, right, trapped in this, got put in this body, but his real body's back here. You can't really see it yet. He's basically out of control. He's berserk, right? And their dynamic is freaking hilarious. He just wants to really just. He wants to find the witch that cursed him, right? And put him in this situation. And that's most of the thing, but like they'll find like other incidents. Because this guy works for like a sort of like magical bureau thing, right? And they'll deal like rogue witches or incidents and stuff like that. Overall, I did enjoy it. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I don't consider it really fantasy, but it was very like a lot of the things felt very in world, right? So that was pretty good. If you like that sort of stuff with like sort of magic and stuff in a way, I guess it was magic. Yeah, I guess yeah. This is pretty good. Solid 8. Pretty good, pretty good. The wrong way to use. I thought I was gonna hate this one for sure. I saw it, I'm like, oh no, it's an isekai. Oh no, it has magic. Oh no, it's fantasy. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, surprisingly good. So they did the whole tropey thing with where in this world they summon like the heroes, right? Which is her and him. But like recently this guy was a loner, but then he made friends with them and they're like tagging along with them now. They're like helping with stuff and it's pretty cool and he's like happy now. And then they get isekai and it's like, oh, well, they have the aptitude to be the hero, but this guy just tagged along, huh? Well, what can you use? And it turns out he can use healing magic and they're like, oh no. Oh no. Don't let her know about it. And then Rose here, right? She's in charge of what's called the rescue squad. And then she finds him and then she starts training him, and it is the hardest training you'll ever see in anime. Bruh. That was hilarious, but he wasn't overpowered. He built his thing up, and even then he wasn't fully overpowered. I did like the way they went about things. I legit thought this was Pochi Wanmaru, a fellow VTuber. She looks just like her. But I feel like they could have done more with her. I know she was important like later on, but it does leave it off in a sort of like, oh, there's definitely like place for a season 2, but it's overall pretty good. Pretty good for a fantasy isekai. I did kind of twist it a little bit with him using healing magic instead of just being powered. And instead of just him, it's 3 characters that got easy. So that was good. I enjoyed it. Probably a solid 9. It's time for Torture Prince. So this one was probably the real comfy one of the season. So I thought it was going to be one thing. I thought they were going to torture her with food. No, that's only some episodes. Sometimes they torture her with like other things. Spoiler alert, they don't actually torture her. It's just kind of what they call it. It's just. So she gets captured and then she gets tortured by like the dark forces and stuff, but it's pretty funny. It's just pure comedy. It's just it's comedy with like, I guess gourmet in a way, like it said, but it's just pure comedy. I like it. If you want comfort and to laugh, you just watch this one. It's really wholesome. Loved it. Tsukimichi's Moonlit Fantasy Season 2. I think this one technically is still ongoing. Yeah. I like it. So far, I do like it better than the first season. Mainly because it's like everything that's established is like very well done still. I did have my gripes with one of the characters that they introduced that's also supposed to be a hero, but he's kind of a prick, so I don't like him. I don't think, yeah, they don't really show him here. Yeah. Oh, no, there he is, yeah. Because he got isekai and them two got isekai also. They're all Japanese, obviously. She's okay. He's a prick. I don't like him. He's a total, like, what do you call it? Chunibyo. And it's, ugh. I just don't like him, but yeah, they'll put him in his place soon enough, I guess. But yeah. It is still ongoing, so I can't really say too much. It does deserve an 8 rating like it has, right? Because I do like how it's doing the fantasy aspect. Pretty good. So yeah. Probably I would recommend it though. Undead Unluck finished finally. Oh man, dude. This one was like, I don't know, I gotta lie, the last few episodes kind of freaking got a little emotional. Like with Andy's story and with Ano and stuff. Oh dude, my poor heart. Oh, they deserve so much. So much. I think it's getting a second season, I believe. Undead Unluck, these important anime related announcement on August 1st. Okay, so there might be a second season. Not immediately. I think. Yeah, not immediately, but it does have 24 episodes. It is 24 episodes, and yeah, I really like it. This is supernatural superpower with some comedy thrown in. And it does it really good. It's very unique how it does it with the negators and stuff. Oh, dude, in the world and stuff, how everything works. Everything, it's just a puzzle that put the pieces in perfectly. And it was really well done. Love it. Highly recommend this one. This Solid 10. Okay, next up is another villainess one, level 99. This is another one of the villainess ones where it's it's sort of, it is technically isekai. It's the shoujo novel, the bishoujo novel ones, right? Where she gets trapped in an otome game. There you go. That's what they're called. So I felt like it was gonna be tropey. It kind of wasn't, which was good. But I have seen it done before, so I kind of knew what to expect. Gene, hey, thanks for dropping by. We're going over the winter anime season. I think we're almost done with the winter. Yeah, we're almost done with it. Where was I? So yeah, like she gets isekai basically right into this, and that's really it. She's basically trying to not be. She's the final boss, so she's trying not to be the final boss. So she knows that she knows the game in and out, and that's how she's going about it. We gaming? Not yet. We'll game soon enough though. Other than that, like it felt a little lackluster, this anime, but it was pretty funny though because she's like super monotone, the way she went about it, going everything. Oh, this is happening, and like she's overpowered, but everyone's like, oh, like they're scared of her, and she's trying not to be in it. All right, near the end. Oh, that's it. That's it for winter. Okay, so we're done with winter. Awesome. All right, so next up is what we're gonna watch for spring. Funnily enough, there's a lot of second seasons or third seasons coming out. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Let me just sort it by title. Condition called Love. Romance. Cool. What you want a gaming? Probably. I did kind of feel was kind of interested in Project Zomboid, like I told you. I'm kind of in a bit of a saving situation, so I can't really get it right away because I'm waiting for some stuff to like happen. So I won't get it right away, but I'll see. Maybe by next week I should have, because I do have some stuff too that I have scheduled for next week that I'm not too sure about. So I'll have to see about my schedule, but don't worry, I have not forgotten about it. No, I don't have it yet. No, I still haven't gotten it. Let's see. Hadaru Hinase is the first year in high school that has a great family, wonderful. It's dumb seeing her, reminded her of Park and an umbrella, little icons, and I to ask her soon. Could try Left 4 Dead 2. Oh, right. We both have Left 4 Dead. Yeah, we could probably do that. Let me see. So I don't really have. I usually have my Mondays free. Can you do Monday? Because Mondays are usually like Sundays are my primary stream days, but those are usually like last longer. But I think I saw that you also stream Monday, so we could probably do that. Oh crap! Where's my window? Story about first love and between a girl who doesn't understand romantic love and a boy, maybe too heavy-handed when it comes to. All right, so this is just straight up anime, straight up romance. Sure, I suppose. All right, I usually stream at like 3, but I can arrange like whatever time you want. Just like message me about it later. What else? Egyo and Tim and Archdemon's Dilemma: How to Love Your Elf Bride? What? This one looks a bit odd. It's not isekai, is it? No. Action fantasy romance. That guy might be the most feared evil sorcerer, but when it comes to social interactions, he's the most inept. Usual time. So we usually stream at what? 11 p.m. EST. PM EST. So that would be PM or AM? Because PM is like really late. No clue how to talk to each other. An awkward arrangement of a bumbling sorcerer and a timid elf begins. Okay, this one sounds good. Another romance one to the. A salad bowl of eccentric PM. PM EST. That'll be like 8 my time. Actually, I probably could. 8, 9, 10. I could probably go for like around like hour or two. Wait, no, AM. 11 AM EST. So that'll be 9 AM my time. Yeah, I could probably get up early and do that. Yeah. Probably a bit earlier than my normal streams, but yeah, that could work. I mean, if we could do it a little bit later than that, it would be better for me, but whatever works best for you, because Mondays are my days off. An impoverished detective meets Sarah, a princess from another world with magical powers. They start living together, and Sarah quickly adjusts her life to modern. Oh, it's a reverse isekai. I've seen this art style before. I think this might be the same studio that did Sasaki and Peeps. Yeah, so just get with me later on Discord. Just send me a message, and we'll just like arrange it and see. Studio is Studio Competence. Recognize some of these. Get the rest. All right, cool. Contrary to popular release, raccoons do sleep. All right, Gene. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. We'll just get to me later on. Hope you have a good sleep. Yeah, I don't recognize any of these. Oh, I recognize some of these actually. Ooh, some of these were not too good. All right, go back to this. Salable of Eccentric. All right, okay, so probably we'll watch that one then. All right. I think I did watch the first episode of this one. As a reincarnated secret, I'll use my praise skill to rise in the world. This one gave me good impressions, actually. This one left a really good impression on me. I think this one technically is isekai. Yes, it's an isekai. I'm gonna spoil the first episode though. So the main guy that gets isekai is a like a salaryman, right? He walks out of his apartment, has a heart attack, and dies. And then he gets isekai. But you don't even see his face. It's just like blacked out. It's so weird. So yeah, I did watch the first episode of this one. Basically, like, it's your typical isekai stuff. He's got reincarnated as a noble, whatever. And he's gonna rise up in the world. He has an appraisal skill. Sorry, I'm not used to talking. So far, it's on my watch list as a potential like full watch. So I'll leave it at that. But Astronaut. Takumi, a gifted chef, we just looking over the job. He lands a gig at an old boarding house called. Oh, this is until he meets a beautiful and charming caretaker. Miran is sold. They begin to work together and the connection is deep. Here's the secret: she isn't from this world. Oh, another technically reverse isekai. Oh, I know this art style. Studio is Telecom Animation. They've done. Yeah, it looked just like Orange's art style. And these are really tiny visuals. Yep, same art style. Also, don't watch Orange. Orange is trash. I hated it. Yeah, but I have watched some of these. Okay. Fair enough. I'll probably watch it, yeah. I did start watching the first episode of this one, but I don't think it's for me because it's like about bartending and alcohol and stuff. So like that's not my funny enough my cup of tea. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna watch that. Black Butler Public School Arc. I think I watched a little bit of the original Black Butler, but it didn't really seem interesting. So probably not gonna watch that. Oh, here we go. The Blue Archive anime. When is this coming out? 3 days? Oh, it's gonna be a Saturday watch. Ooh, okay. So I haven't played Blue Archive, but I really interested about this because the world seems really interesting. Yes, it is like your typical gacha game, but it's a little different than that. The story's actually pretty good, and there's girls with guns, dude, and some of you have tanks. So yeah, I definitely have my eye on this one. This one's for me. This is probably my heavy hitter of the season for me personally. I know there's gonna be other ones, but Ooh, I'm hyped for Blue Archive. Okay. Good. We already have one. Right. Chilling in another world with level 2 super cheat powers. Guess what? Another freaking isekai. I did watch the first episode of this one. No, we have not got introduced to anyone else except them and the main guy. I think I know who she might be. So, it is a little different so far than your typical isekai. Because the guy's not overpowered, surprisingly enough. So, other than that, it's like probably kind of the same. Well, instead of like working for like royalty and stuff, like the king, they kind of just like send him off to like potentially die in a way. They're like, I just leave. But then he ends up kind of getting overpowered. I know it says level 2, but it's not. The level breaks and he's overpowered now, but he doesn't know it. So that's the funny part. It could go well. So far, I'm like, okay, nothing stupid has happened yet. So we'll see. But it could change any moment now. Let's see. Case closed. Man, there's a... Bruh, some of these animes have been going on for so long. Freaking Detective Conan has been airing since winter of 96. It's as old as I am. Chibi Godzilla raids again, season 2. Bro. Data Life. Oh, Data Life 5 is coming out. Wow, man. I'm honestly surprised they could still pump out content for this. Because, like, the first 2 were good. 3 and 4, I don't even remember. And now there's a 5th one. I'm a little bit, like, hesitant. Because it's like, let's be honest here. Main guy's kind of an idiot. He's got a harem of girls that want his D. Like, bruh. But, I mean, everybody's best girl is going to be there. So I guess I gotta watch it. Like, bruh, Kurumi's been waifu for, like, a bunch of young weebs for the longest time. So it's like, yeah. Elysian Dungeon is continuing, so that's good. All right. Freaking Demon Slayer is getting another training arc. The Hashira training arc. Oh. I'm sorry, I don't like Girls Band Cry. This is a music one. Probably not gonna watch it. Even though the characters look kind of cute. If it ends up like Bochi, I might watch it though. Girl is betrayed by her friends and she doesn't know what to do. Oh. One day. So it airs tomorrow then. Okay, I might give it a watch. God's Game we play. Oh, dude. Oh, dude, I watched the first episode of this. Oh, man. Bro, it's like, oh, it's so boring. So boring. There's nothing. I've seen this anime before. I literally have. When I was a younger weeb, I've seen this anime so many times. It's basically just gonna be a power fantasy with like games thrown in. I usually don't like game anime anymore. Before they were okay, but now for me they've just kind of like, oh, okay, the guy's good at games, okay, and the games are like tied to stuff with like superpower essentially, or like gods and stuff. It's like, boring. The girls look okay. The girls look alright, but other than that, it's like, might give it a hard pass, but actually, I think I already dropped. Go Loser Ranger. Wait, is this what I think it is? Who is the hero and who is the villain? When the monster army invaded Earth, and used the divide dragon rose up and stormed them. Or are they? In truth, the invaders were subjugated with a year forced to continue to crank out a monster a week for the Rangers to crush in front of their adoring fans. But one must add, if something has to change, he'll rebel against them. Okay, so it's changing up the essential, like essentially the Power Ranger trope a little bit. Okay. This could be good. All right. I'll give it a watch. Wait, Yostar. Whoa, wait. Yostar? What? Yostar's animating this? Okay, well, if you didn't know, Yostar are the guys behind Azure Lane, Arc Knights, and Blue Archive. So they're kind of a big deal. So, is this based on like a game or something? Because I've never heard about this. Go Loser Ranger. Okay. That one's going to be on my watch list then, for sure. Grandpa and Grandma turn young again. Oh, what? That sounds adorable. No synopsis yet. Oh, this looks like it's gonna be wholesome as heck. This might be the comfy anime of the season. Oh, okay, okay. This one's gonna be on my watch list now. Okay, okay. Old people in anime are just the best. They're always so wholesome. High Speed Étoile. Okay, so Trent said he might want to watch this, but he said it's a little bit weird because the I saw the trailer for this from like a year ago and 6 months ago, and the mouth animations are not good. It is fully 3D. The lighting doesn't match, and the talking looks so yeah. Probably not gonna watch that. Looks a little derp. I was reincarnated as the seventh prince so I can take my time perfecting magic. Okay, so I did watch the first episode of this one while I was ordering some some parts from Palmetto State Armory. I kind of wasn't paying attention too much. I just know it's not an isekai, but it's a reincarnation. And obviously, little guy here is overpowered, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't do anything different out of the thing. And yeah, nothing stands out. I'm going to watch it, but nothing stands out. Jellyfish can't swim in the night. That's weird. Oh, it's freaking high dive. Okay. Or, not high dive. What's high dive? Not the, huh. I thought high dive was the studio, huh? Shibuya is a city full of identity. It is here in Shibuya's late night streets that an illustrator, my hero, VTuber, Kiwi, Watase, and composer, blah, blah, blah. 4 young women are slightly called Julie. I also want to shine light on the. What anime has the studio made before? Oh, they've done Oshinoko and Shikimori. Oh. Oh, wow. I didn't. Oh, this is a surprise. Oshinoko already has a season 2 scheduled for July. Ooh. This is for summer, so we should not be watching this, but it's there. I can't help it. Okay, okay. Let's not spoil ourselves. We'll get to this in a bit. Okay, the title does not hook me. But premise sounds interesting. Wait. I've seen that design before. Maybe I watched the trailer for this before or something, but I recognize that character. I don't know. All right. That one's on the watch list. Could be interesting. Kaiju number 8. Yes. Yes. Okay, so me and Derek were hyped about this one. And it's Production IG, dude. Oh, if you know Production IG, you know they make some freaking bangers. Oh, man. Yep. All right. Yep. Japan defense for defeat. Let's wipe out the kaiju together. Yeah, so basically the guy wants to take out kaiju, but I think he ends up becoming one? He says defense for reserve. The environment kaiju. Or maybe that was a different one, but this one's interesting. Okay, so this one airs in 9 days. So it's a few weeks away. Is it gonna be 3D? Because I'm looking at some of the stuff here, and it looks like everything else might be 3D. No, never mind. I'm wrong. That just looks. Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely on my watch list. Could be a heavy hitter because Production IG. So yeah, that's definitely on the watch list. Yes, finally, friends, we got Konosuba. The first episode leaked. A few episodes leaked of other stuff. I did watch it. Boys, it's time. It is time. The gang is back together, and they're about to wreck things. I don't know where they're gonna go from here, honestly, though. I'm a little interested, like, what's gonna continue next, right? Because I think last time they did it was the Crimson Demon arc where they saved the village, and Kazuma. All right, Kazuma and the one snake lady. She still has nightmares about that PTSD. Okay. We're definitely gonna watch that, obviously, but Eurocamp's getting a 3rd season? Wait, today? Or tomorrow? No, yeah, tomorrow. Oh my god. Oh, dude, I can already tell this is gonna be such a comfy season. Who's that? She's adorable. Are they introducing new girls? Because that's not Rin. Is that Rin? No, that doesn't look like Rin. Oh, wait, it is. Or is it not? Wait. No, no, wait. Is it? I'm confused now. Yeah, that is Rin. Wow, she looks different because usually pretty like sort of stoic. Okay, yeah, okay. So Eurocamp is probably one of my favorite like comfort like slice of life. Yeah, it's a CGDCT, so definitely yeah. It is so comfy, dude. If you're stressed, you're sad, you're angry, anything, all right? If you need to calm down, bro, just watch an episode of this. Just watch an episode of this. You will calm down immediately. It is so comfy. I love it. Eurocamp just does something to you. So I'm so happy it's getting a third season. Mission Yozakura family. I've heard Yozakura before. I don't think this is a second season of anything. 2 quarters back to back. Taiyo Asano has been his own ever since his parents died. Typical anime parents. And the only one who seems to care for him is his childhood friend. Typical classmate. But in a secret, she is the head of a family of spies. Ooh, spy family. On top of that, her brother Kyoichiro is dangerously protective of her. To stop Kyoichiro from killing him, Taiyo Mutsumi must take the ultimate leap marriage. This is the same plot to Spy Family. What? Oh, it's by Silver Link though. Silver Link is known for some good stuff and some not so good stuff. Yeah, Silver Link is either 50. It's 50-50. It's either good or it's bad. Oof. Wow. Funnily enough, I've watched everything on here. Jeez, dude, watched everything on here. Wow. Okay. So basically, this is Spy Family. From the visuals, it looks a little weird. Okay. All right. So it's Spy Family, but in Japan. All right. Oh yes. Technically, this is season 3 of Mushoku Tensei, but no, it's the stupid thing where they do it's season 2, part 2 or second core. I hate when they do that. This one's gonna be a Saturday one, I believe. Yes. Okay. So it's gonna be a Saturday one. Okay. So I know how I said that Frieren did the fantasy aspect pretty well. If Frieren wasn't around, I think Mushoku Tensei probably does my favorite is my favorite fantasy world. It does it really well. The school arc is so far awesome. Love it. And now it looks like we might have a bit of a family reunion. Also, if you know, you know, boys. If you know, you know, our boy finally got some. Yes. Okay, so that's gonna be one of the heavy hitters, but probably the heavy hitter of the season. Gonna be My Hero season 7. 7 seasons, guys. 7 seasons. Can you believe this? Man, it's been. I honestly feel like it hasn't been this. I feel like it's been like 4 seasons, but 7? Man. Okay, so from the visuals, it looks like we're still gonna get a dark Deku, but not depressed Deku. So that's good. I'm not gonna bother reading about it. If you know, you know. I don't really want to spoil myself even with that. So yeah, mysterious disappearances. Ogawa Sumiriko is a busty bookstore clerk. Wants to become a novelist after some writing success in her youth. When strange occurrences start cropping up around the city, she teams up with her flirtatious coworker Dashino Ren to look into them. But Ren is hiding a secret of his own. With her combined skills of occult knowledge, what will he discover as they investigate? Okay, so busty bookstore owner does mystery stuff. Okay, all right, interesting. Is it supernatural though, or is it just mystery? Just mystery and supernatural. Okay, all right. On the watch list, we'll see what's up. Oblivion Battery. What is this? It's a sports one. Nope, don't bother with sports. Jeez, dude. 1999 One Piece. You guys need to chill. Puzzle 9. 3 Monsters. Oh, I watched the first episode of this one. Okay. This one is an isekai, right? Yes, this one's also an isekai. Okay. So, from the concept art, or the cover, which isn't here yet, it's not the one they used. I was like, what is this? Oh, Remonster. That sounds like weird. Probably an isekai. Okay. If this doesn't tell you enough, then let me tell you, the dude gets isekai'd as a goblin in a world, right? And then he slowly goblins mature fast, so in like a week he's already like this. And then he kills stuff, and since he's smarter than the other ones, he starts like basically leveling up. And then he gets like followers essentially, and they level up too, right? Until like from goblin to hobgoblins to I guess like onis or ogres. And the way he's doing it, he got a skill called military leadership. All the other normal goblins that aren't like powered, they're gonna start following him. And from the looks of things, he might like start up his own like faction, and it looks good. So this is gonna be another one that's on my definite watch list. Rinkai, this is a biking anime, isn't it? Cycling. What else do we have? Shinkalan, change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Anyways, no synopsis for it, but it is production IG. It is action mecha sci-fi. Okay, production IG did Braveburn, I think, last. Oh, what the heck is this gonna be? Oh, it's like Transformers. What? That's a bit odd. Coming out in 2 days, so it's a Friday anime. Okay, bit odd, but right. Oh yes, and Hibiki Euphonium's getting a third season. Oh, dude, I usually don't like music anime, but when it's KyoAni is my favorite studio, by the way. If I haven't, dude, K-On! Is like what got me into like Kyoto animation, right? KyoAni, and it was fun. But dude, Hibiki Euphonium is so beautiful. Apart from like the normal like musical stuff, right? It's just it's so good to look at. It's just so good to look at. And well, what can I say? I like all the characters. I like Reina. I like Kumiko. Side characters are all good, but the thing is, with a lot of KyoAni stuff, a lot of the KyoAni stuff is very grounded in reality, right? So the whole music stuff, the whole performance, and as school life, everything they've done here, as well as like in Hyoka and other similar anime, it's like that could be anybody. That could have been you, that could have been me. Anybody could relate to it because it feels realistic in a good way. Like oh yeah, like they're talking normally, they're hanging out, or they're like doing this one thing, and it feels good. There's no like tropes. There's nothing over the top. It does it has like that realism, that anime realism, right? It can be realistic while still being, anime. And yeah, Hibiki Euphonium is one of those. So yes, when it comes to music anime, I don't usually watch them. That's one of the exceptions. Ooh, I know this is JW's waifu. Jay's waifu, and this is a new anime. I think this is a reboot of the original, right? Because I never watched the original, personally. I know it's good, but I never watched it. And, well, I watched the first one, and definitely gonna be watching this one. This is probably the second heavy hitter. Because I know a lot of young weaves watched Spice and Wolf back in the day, right? So this is definitely like gonna bring back a lot of that. So yeah, definitely the watch list. Did I watch Yes, I did watch the first episode of this one. Okay, so the title sounds weird. Studio apartment, good lighting, angel included. Basically, the premise is this angel lands on this dude's balcony. He's like, dude, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? He thinks she's delusional. And then, like, she basically shows him her wings and stuff. And he's like, oh, you're the real thing. Crap, I'm in trouble now. She's kind of a ditz, and he's really dense, so that's going to be funny. It's probably just going to be comedy, but from the looks of it, might go into harem territory, yeah. So it's definitely going to watch it, but we'll see what. Tadaima Okaeri. What is this? Boys. Oh, no, it's a boy. Oh, yep, I could already tell. Yeah, probably not gonna watch this. Yeah, hard skip. Not even gonna bother reading the thing. Hey, did you hear about that one time that I got reincarnated as this? All right, so this is a double core. 24 episodes, back to back. Episode 0 aired a few days ago, and it freaking scared me because I was like, it's back. No, but it's coming out tomorrow, so it's gonna be a Thursday or a Friday. All right, if you don't know about slime, right? Well, you've been living under a rock because this is peak isekai. Out of all the isekai I've seen, Slime is the best one. No challenge. All right. It's so good, right? Right. This is how good it is, right? It's so good that it got Trench, right? Who doesn't really finish animes too much or watch too many. It got him to start reading the manga. That's how good it was. And it is well earned. So, yeah, we'll see what's up. Because, like, for me, that could have ended in one season and I would have been satisfied. But now it's like, ooh, they're just adding on to it more and more. And I want to know. Okay, so speaking of, this is not isekai, but it is trash fetish. So, Spanish former hero lives as he pleases. That should tell you enough. That should tell you enough of what sort of anime this is. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be harem. Other than that, the guy's former hero, he's overpowered, and that's it. This one had 2 episodes leaked already, technically. And people are saying this is one of the animes that people don't want episodes leaked about, or they're not happy about having in the same week. So far, nothing has happened. He met one girl, or he met one girl and her bodyguard, then he met the blacksmith, and that's it. And so far, I don't know what the story is. I don't really know anything. Apparently, she and him know each other from before, and I think she was gonna be his fiance, but I don't even know. All right, Duke of Death and his mate. Okay, I didn't like this one, the first season, so I'm definitely gonna just. The Fable. Okay, this looks odd. What the heck is this? Adult cast comedy, organized crime. When you're the infamous prodigy hitman, also known as Abel, many things come easy. Being a normal person, however, isn't one of them. In fact, being told you can't kill anyone for a while may just be the hardest job Abel's ever taken. What? Oh, I know this art style before. If this guy is voiced by who I think he's voiced, or who I think would fit, then it's gonna be really good. He's got a gun. He's got a fish on that one. Cute. Okay, so I'm gonna watch this one. Tezuka Production. What have they done? They did Dororo, Quintessential Quintuplets. Oh, they did Girlfriend. I mean, they've done anime that I've watched. Good ones, actually. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, I'll watch it. I really hope he's voiced by who I hope he's voiced. Idol Master Shiny Colors not gonna bother. Irregular's getting a 3rd season? Adaptation of the Double 7 arc, Steeple Chase arc, and the Insurrection arc. Dude, okay, so back in the day, this was like peak anime for a lot of people. The second season was pretty good. I didn't think I was gonna like Regular, but then I watched it and I was like, oh, dude, Onisama is literally like the second coming of anime. He is like Blessex, my guy. Like, it is so good. Ooh, I see some new characters and some learning ones. All right. So I know I said already about the other heavy hitters, but I definitely think that's gonna be definite heavy. Right. The many sides of voice actor radio. Yuhi Yugure and Yasumi Utatena, high school classmates and co-hosts of a weekly radio program, paint a picture perfect friendship of listeners, yet in reality they couldn't be more different. Their off-air dynamic is a whirlwind of chaos and insult. That sounds weird. As their tumultuous relationship unfolds, they navigate their wondrous friendship realm of cutthroat realm of showbiz. Let me see the visual for it. Oh, okay. I like this. Oh, you got the shot, the sort of reclusive girl and the gyaru. All right. I like this. All right, I'm gonna definitely watch it. Okay, so I didn't continue Misfit because I just kind of lost interest because they delayed it for too long. So I'm not gonna continue it. The OP for season 1 is still one of my favorites, though. Definitely. New Gate. Isekai? Yep. The New Gate, an online game transformed into a life of death struggle. Oh, it's literally started online from the cover then. Thanks to the valiant efforts of Shin, the most powerful of them all, Kirito, an end to the game and freedom for everyone seemed within reach, but just the moment that Shin defeats the game's final boss, finds the Balaam and lectures from some 500 years into the future of the in-game world. Thrown into a simple game gone wrong into a strange new land, one young swordsman in rival strength is about to embark on legend. Okay, so it's a game isekai. Okay, from the looks of it, he looks very boring. I'm sorry, he just looks Kirito. Okay, I'll give it a watch and I'll let you know how bad it is. Supernatural Sweet Shop. Onari no Yokai-san. Okay. Yokai one. Slice of Life Supernatural. Okay, I'm not going to bother reading it. It's from the these usually tend to have like the same thing. All right, it looks a little odd. Ooh, Tingu. Okay, I'll give it a watch, see what's up. Might not continue it though if it just turns out to be just simple. Hombo, is this a golf anime? Bro, what? How many golf anime are there's a wow, there's a oh right, because Birdie Wing was one of the wait, is Birdie Wing? Oh wow, it's getting a second season. Not that many golf anime, but the fact that they exist is the thing. Yeah, Japan can make an anime of just about everything. Alright, not gonna watch it, but yeah. Hoken Rambu, that's okay, I know it says this, but it's not, it's basically just boys. Okay, so look, I've never used narcotics, right? Hallucinogens and none of that. I've only had fevers where I hallucinate things. This is a fever dream, okay? Train to the End of the World. Okay, the first like 10 minutes are so weird, and the continuing after that doesn't get any better. So in this world, some company started, you know how people are like concerned about 5Gs, right? Because it's like it causes birth defects and this and that, and it's gonna kill us all. Okay, so I don't know anything about that. This one takes it to quite the extremes when they release 7G into the world, and that just distorts everything. Apparently, people start turning into animals also if they live for long enough and stuff. It was weird. I didn't really understand it too much, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's definitely just a straight fever dream. So yeah, it is weird. Sikimi Moonlit Fantasy is continuing. Oh, unnamed memory. I did just watch the first episode of this one. So far, I want to see how this goes because it's fantasy, but that's about it. Romance, it might just be like pure romance between these two. So this guy has a curse, right? He goes and seeks out a witch to help him, which is her. Apparently she knew his grandfather because he tackled the tower where she's at. And now he's like, hey. So she's like, so if you want to find someone, you might not be able to break the curse. His curse is like that he can't have an heir, essentially, right? Because the heir won't be powerful enough to be born. Or the whoever's bearing the child won't be powerful enough to bear him. So he's like, well, what about you? You're a witch. You're powerful. You live long enough. How about you? And she's like, oh, bruh. And he's like, okay, spend a year with me. And if you're content, then you can do that. So it's going to probably just be like a journey one with them. It's because it says adventure. So yeah, I am interested to see where that goes. Vampire Dormitory. Cross-dressing romance. Is that a genre? Oh, it's reverse. A cross-dressing girl and doting vampire dangerous competition is about to begin. Oh. Oh, it's her, isn't it? Yeah, I might not watch this one. I'm not really too fan of like the reverse harem, right? With Bishonen, because everybody here looks like a Bishonen, right? Could already tell their tropes, right? He's like the young, like sort of like not Genki one, but he's kind of like the younger one. He's the nerdy dude with the glasses that's calculating. He's sort of like the cold one. He's like the main guy, and this guy's sort of like the player, essentially. Yeah, I know. I've seen these tropes. I'm not gonna watch. Viral hit. Ronnie high school student Hobin Yu is probably the last guy you'd expect to star in the YouTube channel that revolves around fighting. But after following some advice on mysterious YouTube channel, Hobin is soon knocking out guys stronger than him and raking in more money than they could ever. So this is a fighting anime? Was that Jacket? And I might... yeah, probably not going to watch that one then. Whisper Me a Love Song. Oh, is this Yuri? Yeah, girl. Okay, so I know I said I don't watch BL Boys Love. Yuri, on the other hand, I sometimes might give it. Right? Can you blame me? All right, I like women too. So this looks like it's gonna be music, or not music, but it's like, oh, I like this. Okay, so it just looks like it's gonna be straight, just girls love romance school. Okay, so probably not gonna bother reading that. I'm just gonna watch it, see what's up. Windbreaker. Anyone who causes pain, who brings destruction, who holds evil in their heart will be purged by buffering with an expectation with average scores. This is a delinquent one. I don't like delinquent ones. Like Butchigiri was a delinquent one, and from the looks of it. Wait a minute. Is that? Bro, this is literally Tokyo Revengers. What the heck? That's like Takemichi, and that's that other dude. This is basically Tokyo. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna bother watching that then. Yatagarasu, the raven does not choose its master. I think I might have read I might have seen this. No, never mind. Probably not gonna give this one a watch either, because it's just straight up historical. Okay. Seems like we have a very packed, very heavy hitting season this time. A lot of second seasons and a lot of heavy hitters, dude. Oof. Alright. And that all starts, well, technically it started this week. But most of the shows are gonna start airing in the next few days, mostly next week. Okay. So that's it. That was winter, and that was the spring watch list now. So yeah. Alright, so that'll do it for today. We only went for what? Hour 47, hour 41, almost 2 hours. That's good. I know I did ramble a little bit on like when I went for Freerun, but bro, that anime's so good. Watch it. Watch Freerun. If you don't like anime, watch Freerun. If you love anime, you probably already watched Freerun. If it doesn't matter if what like genre, whatever you like, Freerun is really good, dude. It's just a good story. It's just really good. It's adventure. Come on, watch it. Right. So that'll do it. As you saw, Gene was in the chat. We're probably gonna have a little collab thing maybe on Monday. We'll see. We'll get together and we'll talk about it. But other than that, we have also I didn't read this. Detective, what the heck? Other than that, the next thing is we have on the schedule is going to be next episode is going up on Saturday. So that should do it. Thank you for watching. That'll do it. You're all fantastic, and I will see you next stream.